Hello, in this video let us look at states of a system. Whenever we say state, we normally feel about a solid state, liquid state and gaseous state. But these are not states we are looking at in statistical mechanics, because here our system, it may be consisting of solid, liquid or anything. A system may be in any of the states. Those three states, solid, liquid and gaseous states, are states of a matter, not that of a system. Our system may be anything, and we are supposed to develop some expressions or equations for a system consisting of any material. So it must be a generalized system, uh, whatever may be the state of a matter it consisting of. And in a statistical mechanics, we want to derive the bulk properties, such as pressure, volume, elastic properties of a material, resistivity, conductivity, transport equations or transport properties, etc., as you have done in your statistical in your CMP, information transformation, that is data transfer, and many things in terms of the properties of constituent particles. As when we say a system, it consists of a gas. It may be a gas or liquid or solid, or it may be a system consisting of massless particles. Those are photons, or there might be some data which we are going to transfer. And system whose bulk properties are being studied maybe in any of the state, as I said before. And here whenever we say a system, that a system may be uh, described in terms of physical properties and in terms of chemical properties. Both the properties we can describe about a whole system, and that system always consists of a large number of particles. And we are considering here a system wherein the particles are not act, uh, interacting chemically, that is, there is no chemical reaction between the particles. And we are considering a system in which the particles are colliding elastically. If you consider a gaseous state and liquid state, there the particles are in a continuous motion, and there is all the possibilities of collision of the particles, and there we are considering a elastic scattering. What is a elastic scattering? That is, the total energy before collision and after collision is same, and also momentum, total momentum of a particles before collision and after collision are a constant. In a collision, there might be number of particles involved. It's not a collision between only two particles. Two three particles may be colliding together. And also another consideration is that the time interval of collision is very very small. And another consideration what we are making is, these particles are not interacting with the surrounding medium. There will be no exchange of particles, there is no exchange of energy, and no change of a temperature. uh, those are our systems. And whenever we say a system, if I have a system, it consisting of a large number of particles. Say I have a one container and I'll drop some particles in it. I have one rectangular box and I'll put some particles in it. Now these particles will start randomly moving, and initially when I put, the temperature may be different. After certain time, the temperature and volume and other things, total energy, they get settled down. The system comes to equilibrium, and after certain interval of time, they occupy a constant pressure, volume and temperature. Volume means, if they are gaseous particles, they will start moving randomly all over the volume. And if there are solid particles, they will have their own volume, and the particles will be vibrating in from their mean positions. And here the number of particles are also fixed in this box, and these all are properties. When the temperature settles down, when the volume and pressure become a fixed, uh, these properties uh, specify the state of a system. We can say that system has got a certain volume, the pressure of a system is this much. What is the temperature of a system? We can specify the temperature of a system may be 28, it may be 25, or anything. That becomes one constant number. And these properties tell something about that system. And these are a bulk properties. And these bulk properties are also called as a macroscopic properties. And whenever I describe the whole system using these bulk properties, we call that system as if it is in a macroscopic state. That is, whenever we specify the state of a system, means we are describing the system. The state of a system is said to be a macroscopic state. Because we are telling about a system in terms of a bulk properties. And as we know, whole system, it consists of its constituent particles, and the particles, they'll have their own individual properties. The particle, it may be in at a one position, another particle at another position, just as you can see here. And those particles may be moving, and because of that their positions are also changing continuously, and because of their change in a position, there is a change in a energy also. Their velocity may be changing. Now I can tell about the state of a whole system by telling the properties of these individual particles. I can say what is the position of a particle 1, and what is its velocity or a momentum and energy at any one instant of time. At the same time, uh, I can give a position of a second particle, its momentum and its energy, so on. I can specify for all the particles by telling the properties of constituent particles. I can say what is a property of this whole system. Now I am explaining the system or describing the system in terms of constituent particles, or the properties of a constituent particles. Those particles are a microparticles, hence the properties of those microparticles are a micro properties. And whenever I specify the system using these micro properties, we say that state of a system is a microscopic state. Just for example, I can tell if there are three particles in a system, and one particle is of energy E1, another one is of energy E2, and another one is of energy E3, and total energy of a system, capital E is equal to E1 plus E2 plus E3. And here capital E is a macroscopic property, and small E1, E2, E3 are a microscopic properties, because these are properties of constituent particles. Now I can say the system has got a particular energy capital E, and that capital E is equal to small E1 plus E2 plus E3. It means I am telling about a system in terms of constituent particles. That's why the state of a system is said to be a microscopic state. And another one thing is, any microscopic state of a system can have any microscopic state. That is, any macroscopic state of a system can have any number of microscopic states. For that, let us consider an isolated system with a constant volume, capital V, pressure capital P, at a temperature capital T, and total energy of a system is E. And let there are a capital N number of particles. and in this n number of particles, let n1 number of particles are of a temperature E1 at a time T1, and n2 number of particles are of a energy E2, and n3 number of particles are of a energy E3, and so on for all the particles. Now if I sum together all these n1, n2, n3, that is going to give us a total number of particles, and total energy of a system capital E is equal to n1 E1 plus n2 E2 plus n3 E3 as given in this equation. And now whenever I describe a system in terms of n1, n2, n3 and so on, respective E1, E2, E3 and so on, I say that I am giving a one microscopic state of a system. This is a one possible microscopic state of a system. And now at another instant of a time t, t2, I will measure again how many number of particles are of energy E1, how many number of particles are of energy E2. And since these are microscopic particles, their energies are continuously changing because their positions are also changing, or they are vibrating. That's why their energies are continuously varying. At another instant of time, there might be n1 prime number of particles are of energy E1, n2 prime number of particles are of energy E2 and so on. And now I can again give the total number of particles as a n1 prime plus n2 prime plus n3 prime and so on, and I can give the energy of a total energy of a system by this equation. Now I can describe a whole system in terms of these values n1 prime, n2 prime, n3 prime and so on, and E1, E2, E3 and so on. And this is another microscopic state of a system, which is having a macroscopic properties as a capital E, V, P and T. This macroscopic state of a system is fixed, that is with a constant energy, volume, temperature and pressure, but its microscopic properties are varying. Therefore it is said that any macroscopic state can have a different microscopic states. Just here I have shown only two microscopic states. We can have any number of microscopic states. Just for example, if I consider here, I have one sheet of a paper where I'll paint it with the different colors. Here I have painted with the 4 different colors in a first strip. This is a one state of a system. My board is of a same size. Its surface area, its size, that everything is remaining the same. Only the painted strips are of different colors and arranged in a different pattern. They are of a different size also. The dimension of a painted strips are also different. So here I have 3 different states. This is one kind, and the whole system is of a same size. That is, my board is, or a sheet is of a same size. Only thing I am painting with a different colors of a different dimensions. These all 3 represent three different microscopic states of a one macroscopic state. Macroscopic state, that is of a dimension of a whole sheet. Another example, if you want, another example I can give is, say suppose I have one container in which I have say some 5 particles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At a T1, the first particle is of energy, the total energy of a system is 5 electron volts. And at a time t1, the first particle, it may be of a energy 0 electron volt, second may be of a 1 electron volt, second is of a 2 electron volt, and third particle, fourth particle, it may be of a 2 electron volt, and then the last particle may be having a 0 electron volt. So totally the energy of a system remains the same, that is 5 electron volt. And at another time, t2, it is possible that the same particles, they have a different energies. Now the first particle may be having a energy of 2 electron volt, first particle may be having a 1 electron volt, third particle is also of a 1 electron volt, and fourth particle is having a 0 electron volt, and fifth particle again has a 1 electron volt. Total together it is of 5 electron volt. And if you look at another instant of time t3, there is a possibility that first, second, third, all particles have a 0 electron volt, and last particle itself only has got a 5 electron volts. Total energy of a system is a 5 electron volt. So there are many microstates of a system for a same macroscopic states, for the same macroscopic state. And let us stop at this point, and we'll continue in the next class.